And it is post time. In fact, we're off and running on this Friday edition of Gulfstream today. Great to have you with us. Beautiful Gulfstream Park, a sunny and warm Friday afternoon. Preakness Eve here in South Florida. Pete Aiello, track announcer here at GP, joined by Jason Blewett. Delighted to have you with us. And what's going on in your neighborhood?
Well, I think the prophecy came true. We were talking yesterday about WrestleMania 3, and I was pretending to be Andre the Giant. Well, you body slammed me, so I guess I get to official welcome to South Florida for that. So.
No kidding. I'm still getting acclimated, very much so. I'm up 1-0 in our pancake battle.
Yeah.
We'll have to come up with another pancake wager on today's
I got to
card.
try to get even, otherwise Blewett Mania will be running wild all summer long.
I'll leave my shirt on, though, that's for sure. Anyway, let's get down to the nitty-gritty as far as what's happening a bit north of us. Of course, about 1,000 miles, give or take, north at Pimlico Racecourse. Their Black-Eyed Susan card well underway. In fact, fast and firm. Looks like a real nice Friday Preakness Eve up there in Maryland. But here you go, field of 10, second jewel, the 2017 Triple Crown. Always dreaming your Derby winner. Does he get it done tomorrow afternoon?
I think he does, but I mean, have you seen some of these races? Not only tomorrow, but today. I mean, if you looked up great betting race in the dictionary, there would be 28 races from Pimlico today and tomorrow. I mean, these are really, really contentious and good betting races, and you have guaranteed pools galore too in Baltimore. So you're not only playing good races, you're playing with substantial pool sizes.
Yeah, well said there, Pete. And as far as getting a wager in, well, we've got you covered here at Gulfstream Park and over at expressbet.com for Preakness Day 142. You can get those advanced wagers on the entire program in on track today at Gulfstream Park. Black-Eyed Susan, one of 14 races. In fact, the feature down there on a Friday 14-race card. And just as a friendly reminder, we'll have Silks opening up tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. They're off and running at Pimlico on Preakness Day at 10:30 a.m. And we, of course, start at Gulfstream Park a little earlier at 1 o'clock.
We do indeed, and tomorrow afternoon when you join us for our Preakness party, you'll have the opportunity to get one of those sharp-looking t-shirts. All you have to do is purchase an official program here tomorrow. The Redemption Center will be on the south side of the facility, right next to the elevator bay. So from 12 to 3, buy a program, get a shirt, and enjoy your day with us.
Get your preak on. I think that's how they say it. You'll have your preak on, no doubt.
Yeah, no more Kegasis, though. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, good old Kegasis. I guess he's out to pasture. But again, we've got 10 races on the Friday card here at Gulfstream Park. And my debut, and we'll use expert loosely, but I'm up on Beat the Expert here. We want you to play over at our Facebook page and give us a follow at Gulfstream Park. And I see you just shaking your head and chuckling.
That's the greatest photo I've ever seen in my life. That's one of those things. I could take 5 losing photo finishes in a row, flash that photo, and I'm good.
I was trying to, get that. That's what
I think we should have another contest. Name the caption and have Jason's caption
That's
there.
not a bad idea, my friend.
If you have captions for this photo, please tweet them or put them on Facebook.
No doubt. Give us a follow on Twitter. Give Gulfstream a follow on Twitter. And, yeah, have fun. Go at it at my expense. I try not to take myself too seriously, just like the man sitting next to me right here. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, my friend. Just a quick rundown of what's on tap as far as the multi-race wagers on today's card, including the first race with that dollar rolling super high five at a pretty salty 3 and up, $10,000 optional claim to start the card. Also at 1:15, or approximate first post of 1:15, we'll have the opening leg of the early pick 5. And man, they got live. Somebody got live to Surety, who sure looked like he'd be a bomb in yesterday's nightcap. They were looking to take down the whole entire enchilada. Didn't work out, so that means we got over $250,000 up for grabs.
Yeah, and, it was a sequence that you and I were right about at some points, but boy, if we were alive, we would have eaten a big pile of crow in the last race. We were both dead set against the favorite, who tripped out exactly how we thought he would, and he still won.
Yep.
So good on you if you had him.
Yep. 50th win at the meet for leading jockey Tyler Gaffalione. We'll see plenty of action over the next few cards here at Gulfstream Park. Late pick 5 getting underway in earnest in race number 6. Keep in mind a 10-race program. Wrap things up at around 6:15, quarter after 6 or thereabouts this afternoon. So settle in. Going to be a long one here at Gulfstream Park, but a good one at that. And Get us off to a better than good start. What's the pick 5 looking like?
Well, I can't be any worse than I was yesterday, at least in terms of the way I structured my ticket and having an opinion. I'm going to try, we were talking off camera that you thought this card was fairly tricky. I did not think it was all that tricky, so famous last words for me. I'll single right off the bat. Number 7, Papa Pig. Not only does he not miss many dances with 25 races last year, he's now had 31 races in little over 2 years.
He's a beast.
He finally gets a race that flows to his advantage. I was actually proud of him his last 2 races. He ran well despite being in an absolutely terrible position tactically. The flow of those races necessitated that. Here today, he's got a lot of speed to chase. Gaffalione will be able to take a big rainfall and then make a big run on the outside. I like him. I think he wins. Second race is very, very wide open, which from a pick 4 standpoint, I think is good. You can spread. I'll use 1, 2, 4, 5. I'm against Liberty Road. That's the horse that'll take some money that I don't have. In the third race, I think it is a 2-horse contest, but I'll go ahead and single. Avast Matey just needs to run as good as he has his last 2 races. He lost to a really nice racehorse in Tarpey Zapper 2 starts ago, and then last time out he didn't have much of an excuse, but he still fired. He was just second best. And then 2 deep in race number 4 with the scratch of Tayuna. That becomes a 2-horse race in my view, and then we'll spread in the finale 5 deep to try to cash it out. It's a $20 play. I have 2 singles. I like them both. So we'll see if we can get it home here.
We like those singles, and as a newcomer, a newbie, and very much a noob here in South Florida, I have a great amount of respect for Papa Pig, who, again, you've got to respect a horse who's just been iron and as solid as hickory and is showing up in career start number 34 as a 4-year-old in May of his 4-year-old season.
You gotta love that, huh?
Yeah.
You know, what is it they say? They don't build them like they used to.
No doubt. He is a certain throwback in today's first, and he'll get another run. He'll try to get revenge on a few of these horses that have beaten him over the last few weeks, including Sir Hanoun, the number 4, who's a co-favorite right now at 9-5. They hooked up back on April 12th here in a race where Sir Hanoun was able to get away with an easy, uncontested lead. Papa Pig tried to pick him up, but couldn't do it.
Well, he was too close, Papa Pig. He had to lay close because it was just a compact field in that particular afternoon of the 6-horse field. He gets 7 to work with today, but it's a completely different complexion. How about the fact that Sir Hanoun actually wins this race? Good time had by Hall.
Yep.
Was the odds-on favorite and pretty much handed him the victory. Sir Hanoun battled back gamely to get the win that afternoon. He big-time figured that day as far as the buyer figures go. He is a bounce candidate. He is racing against a very bad flow, at least in my view. He's an absolute play against. You don't see any on my ticket. I don't like him. As I say, I'm not bashful. If he wins, I lose.
Well, you'll eat crow once again. You did it in the nightcap with me. Won't be the first, won't be the last time. I respected him a little more than you. And I admit, there could be a very fast pace in this race going a mile with the 2 I'm stepping it up. Number 4, Sir Hanoun, and the number 5, Jaden's Best. I'm hoping, though, the speeds carry, and I'm looking for Jaden's Best, who might be at his best when he's on the lead, but he can rate and he can track and he can still finish up well. I think he's been obviously pretty sharp. Geez, what's he looking for? 5 in a row. I'm going to take him to get the old 5-bagger today, and clearly you think he's a real dangerous horse against Papa Pig.
Well, here's the thing about it. When you look at the other horses in here, you figure the 2, 4, 5 are the speeds in this race, and then who of those horses are going to survive that duel? I think the 5 is the most likely to do that because I agree with you. I think he'll probably be the kindest ridden of those 3. The 2 and 4 really have a crash course for disaster up front, and the 5 will be flanking them, but I still like Papa Pig. I'm all in there.
All right, pretty amazing. We were talking off camera as well. I noted we were talking about turf sprinters and Peony Price, who's running up in the Jim McKay, and I said there's some really tough claimers around here who are running at or about 10,000, just salty horses, and this first race is a prime example.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where if you follow those claimers and you can follow those pace flows, a lot of times you can make money on these races because everybody, they take turns beating each other. Yeah, but there's a reason for that, and if you know the reason, you can definitely have a tactical advantage.
Big proponent of race dynamics, and of course the first race is an interesting plot, to say the least, with a good group of hard hitters. On to the second, my friend. We'll stay on the dirt. We cut back to 6 furlongs, and we'll kick off Friday's early pick 4 with a 3-and-up filly mare, $12,500 claiming race. I like a horse quite a bit in this one, the 5 Sweet Medea, who's going off the claim for trainer Steve Kosaris. I've known Steve a long time, well-respected a trainer. He's worn many hats here in the thoroughbred racing industry, and for a sharp guy like Steve, it is no surprise, and these stats back it up, that he does a solid job day in and day out off the claim. And at Gulfstream Park, getting a little more inclusive. You check it out, 5 for 21, 24%. And he's close to 50% in the money. Sweet Medea for you and I with Stevie K in race 2.
Not as confident as you are, but you got to take stock on 2 things. Number one, Kosaris will at least have the horse the same as she was last time out. If she takes a step forward, she probably wins easily. I don't think her best lick is 6 furlongs, but again, relative to the competition, she's the one to beat.
Now you've got some speed to potentially set up her late kick. The number 1, Sherry Angel, is where you and I went for second. She's one that might be close up inside beneath Luca Panici, dropping out of a narrow 4th.
Yeah, she's a tough horse. She just kind of grinded away. You don't really know what trip she wants or needs flow-wise to get the victory. So get best of the rest type selection for me. The horse that I hope wins for my selfish early pick 5 is number 2, Get a Room. She intrigues me. She comes out of a fairly salty $10,000 claiming race at Tampa on the turf. I do think she's better on the turf, but she did run well on the main track 3 and 4 starts ago. I'm a big fan, and if you haven't known already, Monty Thomas is one of the most underrated trainers in the state. So when Monty Thomas wins, I smile.
All right, that's a big little push here from Pete on the show for trainer Thomas Monty's got a live one in race number 2. On to the 3rd, Singleton for you here in race number 3. And this seems, at least, and I know you're pretty bullish on Papa Pig, but if you were going to say, give me the best single, at least in my opinion, on today's card, it would likely be in race number 3 with the 2 of Vast Mady, who even a quick rundown of the buyers at face value. I mean, this horse is just faster.
Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, there's no other way around it. Number 3, General Obvious, is the horse who has the biggest license to improve. Second start off the extended vacation, but he's a 3-year-old against older horses. I know it's May, but still, I'm a little leery of that move.
That is a plot line we'll see tomorrow. Very good featured 10th race on the Preakness Day program. 10th of 11 at Gulfstream Park in the big drama. It's a pretty good 3-year-old coming in from Tampa. I can't remember his name. He's a perfect 3 for 3. Looking forward to talking about that race tomorrow with you, but we'll take Ralph Dix at a very short price in the 3rd. Race number 4 on the card, 5 furlongs on the turf. These are 3 and up. Filly Mare, $16,000 claimers. Our opening race today on the Gulfstream Park turf. A major pace scratch and just major in the quality department, relatively speaking. Losing Tayuna, who I had picked on top because of that likely loose on the lead scenario. She is out. I scratch into the 4, doing the Watusi, and you and I, of course, are on the same exacta box here, 3-4-4-3 for you and I. Yeah,
doing the Watusi on the cutback. Is she fast enough to make the lead with the scratch of Tayuna on the cutback? That's a question I can't answer. Maybe you can. Nola Fashion is the horse that I used in this race, simply based on the fact that I think she'll run better than she did in her last race. She adds the blinkers. Panici gets the call. I don't have no confidence in how this race is going to develop or who's going to be where. I just think she's one of the classiest and quickest in here. I'll use her on top with doing the Watusi the other way.
All right, they might be the way to go, and you might be safe in a scratch-laden field of 5 with the 3 and 4 in race number 4. We've got a Rainbow 6 to talk about, my friend. We'll have my ticket coming up. Get involved with Beat the Expert. And this expert will be coming back with all of you on the other side of this quick timeout on Gulfstream today.
At ExpressBet, we celebrate the champions that make horse racing great. That's why we provide more ways to bet from more places than ever. We've built an entire family of brands to give players more of the rewards they deserve, give bettors the information they need to win, and provide a community for horse bettors. Because the best way to support the champions of horse racing is to champion horse racing. ExpressBet. We are racing.
It's a big time. Welcome back on this Friday, Black-Eyed Susan Day edition of Gulfstream Today. Pete and Jason joining all of you. The sun is out. We are fast and firm, and we've got over $250,000 in the Friday Rainbow Six carryover pool. It was alive for the whole thing yesterday. Surety did not fire at around a gazillion to one, and that means the sequence begins in earnest in today's fifth race. And I've got a quick ticket putting up. Tried to hit the thing yesterday with $14. I think we had 3 or 4 of 6. Not enough for the consolation. There you go, $21.60. I'll go 2 deep in race number 5, a race I had a hard time making heads or tails of anybody. I'm hoping the speeds in Sassy Sierra and Smart Jersey potentially run 1-2 around the racetrack. I like Steve Kosaris in 2 of his 3 races on the card today. Blackjack Baby for me. His aces in race number 6 as the anchor. Moving on to Flying Girl, Yankee Perfection, and Just Sassy in race number 7. The 8th race, another 3-bagger, and then we'll go 2 by 3 to end the program. A $21.60 play for 20 cents. And let's get down to business, my friend, in race number 5. We, during the break, actually took a little gander. Who do you like? Who do I like? Well, we like pancakes, and this is the race.
This is indeed the race. I like your Rainbow Six ticket with one exception. I don't think you make it out of leg 1. I like the a horse in this. I do very much like your single of Blackjack Baby, by the way. But here, I think the 2 horses you used have a crash course for disaster because they're both one-dimensional speed types who have had trouble sealing the deal. Even though Smart Jersey won last time out, she got a soft opening quarter and squandered a big lead, winning by only a length and a half. Now, it should be noted, the horse who was running after her, case dismissed, would come back to deliver as the odds-on favorite in her next race. But Smart Jersey will have a big-time duel with Sassy Sierra. That sets it up for a horse who draws terrible from a post standpoint, but flow-wise finally gets something to work with. That's number 1, Faina, under Leonel Reyes. She ran very well last time out while being very, very wide and very, very far back. I think I run you down. I don't know where we'll be. We were joking that we should probably try to win the races we have pancakes, but in this particular case, I'm going to catch you. I just don't know at what position.
Yeah, fair enough. I like the confidence, and you were looking down actually talking about the race. Can we put that graphic up once again? I just want, I have a couple questions. How do you like that stack of pancakes? And you got to tell me, the picture they used of you, where and when was that taken?
I guess it's fair enough I harassed you. That was my first job in the racing business, but that's a damn good picture.
You look very handsome. What track was that?
That was at Cincinnati at beautiful River Downs.
River Downs. How do you like that stack there, Big Daddy?
We'll have to see how it plays out. We got a whole weekend to decide who owes who and where we go. I think the where we go should be the Pancake House just next door.
I think that sounds great. 2 speeds around the racetrack for me. Some other major players here in our pancake race, the 5th. Miss Kitka, you've got 2nd. Inside post for you, looking for a try sweep.
Well, I think Miss Kitka is going to be the one that gets first run on your 2 horses, so that was the way I went. I think Faina is going to run everybody down, but if she doesn't, I want somebody from off the pace. I don't want the speeds. Of the speeds, I think Sassy Sierra is better, gets the claim off by a guy who was previously, here's your useless knowledge for the day, the trainer of the 3-horse, Benny Katahia. His claim to fame was not only that he'd play in the professional baseball, but he was the catcher, the bullpen catcher for the Chicago Cubs.
I love the crossover, dude. That's a great nugget here on Gulfstream today. I like it even more now. Sassy Sierra live again. Speed, speed, speed for me in race number 5. Let's keep the pace going, Mr. Pete, on to race number 6 and getting to my Rainbow Six single, and I think you've got the right favorite here.
Yeah.
A real logical favorite, but one you can have confidence in Blackjack Baby, who going back to her victory on April 29th, a comparable effort to this one, going 5/8 on the turf. It's just going to get it done here for Stevie K.
I agree with you completely. I think that we took the gloves off when discussing race number 5, but in race 6, we're both very much on the same wavelength. Blackjack Baby, you can see Jorge Ruiz not even really moving his hands as he sweeps up to take the lead. From a tactical standpoint, Cosmic Flash and Bermuda Triangle are going to go, and so is Shackleford Storm. You have a couple of horses that, in my view, are just also rans, so that leaves you with the 1 and 2 from off the speed. I think the 1 is much faster than the 2. case closed.
All right, late pick 4 single, perhaps for some people. For me, it's all about the Rainbow 6, or I should say the late pick 5. What's your late pick 5 play looking like?
Well, let's take a look at it now. I actually like Blackjack Baby just like you. I singled Blackjack Baby, and then I'm too deep in race number 7. I'm trying to get lucky. I think this is a race where you either go too deep or have to buy it. I'll go too deep and try to spread elsewhere. 3 deep in the 8th. I'll use the 1 Weekend Appeal at a huge number, simply based on the company line in that last race. More on that when we get there. The 4 Regan's Odyssey for a barn who's been firing big shots lately, and the 6 Cajun Queen is awfully reliable when she has her mind on business, and she has lately. 3 deep in the 9th, the 2 King's Ghost, the 5 Ms. Money, who I think is a beatable favorite, and the 6 Vendita, who's been hard to beat doing anything lately, as she's going for 5 in a row. And then I'm 4 deep in the last. I hate the last race from a standpoint of trying to come up with a multi-leg ticket. This is a tough, albeit good betting race.
Well, you've got some coverage there. You've got safety in numbers, and I hope you get there, my friend, on a $36 play on a race number 6 on the card, or in fact, we talked about race number 6 on a race number 7. I got in the zone of just 9 race cards here. We'll be at Gulfstream Park a little longer today. A little Friday late pick 4, race number 7, starting point 3 and up. Filly Mares in this 2-turn mile, $16,000 claiming race. You said you buy the race or you use 1 or 2 here. For me,
we have the same 2.
Yeah, we have the same 2, and I preferred horses down towards the inside, meaning the 4 Just Sassy, the number 2 Yankee Perfection, and the 1 Flying Girl. Give us the scoop on the 2 Yankee Perfection.
Well, we had our wrestling reference yesterday. Let's get one today. The Macho Man Randy Savage had a wonderful promo in the late 80s about the cream rising to the top. I think that's what will happen in this particular race. You have some horses that have shaky form cycles, and then you have horses with upside. I think Yankee Perfection has some huge upside. Her only start on turf as a 3-year-old, she was a winner against $25,000 maiden. She stacks up well in for 16 here this afternoon. I think her last race is a complete throwout over a sloppy racetrack against better horses. I think Cathleon sticks to ride. His only opportunity to ride this filly was a winning effort, and I think she'll be rallying from just off the pace. I like her. She'll be in front of Just Sassy, who will be a victim of the early pace.
And that may be her undoing here. Over a turf course, to be fair, that's been unbiased and pretty even over the last few cards. And at least Just Sassy does not catch a turf course where speed is just carrying left and right. And I thought Just Sassy ran pretty well last time. In fact, her career debut, or I should say my career debut at Gulfstream Park, was her date of the last race, May 4th, in which she was a narrow 3rd going out that afternoon. And, you know, you watch her towards the back of the pack. She's very easy to spot in the red circle, the gray. She kind of gets stuck down inside while the race is really flowing to the outside.
Yes, that's true, but at the same time, she gets a decent run of it because she tried to follow the odds-on favorite, Fashion Factor, who was in the yellow cap that afternoon. Fashion Factor gets loose right here, but can't get to the leader, and the winner, Bradley Sunshine, who got first run. Just Sassy has room to quicken through. She does quicken through. She'll end up making up a little bit of ground on that top pair while running on 3rd. I think that race was far tougher than the race she'll face here today, because the horse who ran 2nd in that race was from the barn of Christophe Clément. I don't see anybody of that caliber here in this race.
And was claimed, in fact, was a beaten odds-on favorite, like you said, for Christophe. Lost a tough one, having to make that prolonged inside run, and we'll see Fashion Factor running first off the claim. I think Armando de la Cerda picked her up, and he's got her in on tomorrow's 11-race card at Gulfstream Park. That begins at 1 p.m. On to the 8th we go, and down the stretch we go at Gulfstream Park. 3 and up, Filly Mares in the $16,000, $12,000 starter optional claimer, 7.5 furlongs, a 2-turn turf race on the grass course. And let's dive right into our top pick, the number 6 Cajun Queen, who is coming out of a field. And do note this, I think it is an important number, where she only beat 3 horses, but she did so in a dominant effort. We will check out with beneath Tyler Gaffleone.
Yeah, and you know, the thing about it is that she's fired so well in each one of her last, I would say, 5 races. Even the race that she's 5th in, the wide open 16 in January, that's during the championship meeting, and she ran pretty well that afternoon. Her race 3 back against Red Parasol is rock solid. Her race this particular day, she took advantage of a nice setup. Gaffleone gave her a good trip. Thinking of Mom was expected to win that race, and she ended up beating only 1 home. I just thought it was a great run by Cajun Queen. Nice to see Amity Racing. Dennis Amity does so well in picking out his claims. Nice to see him back in South Florida and starting to make some of those claims. I'm with you. folks, you're used to me fighting on this show with whoever I work with, but Jason and I share too many similar ideologies for a lot of those tussles.
We're wise guys, too much of a wise guy for our own good. Now, as far as the competition goes, Smart Romance is one I've got in the mix. A good post, good trainer, good jockey from post number 2. Give us the scoop on the one Weekend Appeal. I think she was your price play here.
Yeah, she is. She comes out of a really, really good race. The winner of that race, Martini Glass, in my view, is stakes caliber. In fact, she tried stakes horses on Florida Cup Day. Malora, who was third that day, would come back and win. She got really good for Teresa Connolly out that way. 2 starts ago, lost to Brew Mistress, who would come back to win as a favorite. That was a horse from the barn of Moises Llanes, and then Blake's Magic, nice racehorse. This horse is, at least from a standpoint of company lines, fits very, very well. From a pace standpoint, I'm worried. That's why I don't know that she can win, but she'll out her on her odds, especially at that 20-to-1 more.
And let's give a pop, concerning the pace and potential race flow, and the fact that the 4 Reagan's Odyssey can pretty much fire from anywhere in the pack, and she's coming out of a 3rd place finish. She wasn't all that close to Vendetta, but she'll come back, Vendetta, in just a few minutes from now on this show as perhaps arguably the horse to beat in the 9th. Yeah,
I think so, and Regan's Odyssey is a horse. I think she does her best work near the lead, but as you said, she doesn't need the lead. The barn's been firing on all cylinders. The Poppy, how do you spell cupcake horse, also from this barn, was a winner earlier this week.
Indeed, and you have fun calling that one in Wednesday's opener?
I did.
Yeah,
that was one of my more enjoyable calls.
All right, good stuff there, Pete. On to race number 9. Let's kick off the late double here. We turf pretty much exclusively for the back half of this Friday card at Gulfstream Park, and race number 9 takes a backseat to no other race on the program today, whether you like a short-priced horse or a bigger-price contender, because it's just a good crew of a high-price $62,000 optional claiming 3 and up fillies and mares. Nice purse of $44,000. And mid-pack, you've got, I think, just a horse who, in watching some of the also-rans who have finished behind, and there's quite a few of them over the last few weeks in the wake of the 6 Vendetta, she has just been a lawnmower. I remember my first week here, there was a horse, and I can't remember who it was, but I was watching a horse who had been beaten by Vendetta, and I went, who is that horse? Patrick Biancone's done an outstanding job with her. You and I think she's going to make it 5 in a row.
Well, and here's a new ideology test, one that we have not discussed off camera at all. Would you rather take a horse that is a proven class horse on the drop down in the form cycle, or a horse who may be getting a test for class that's very sharp? Looks to me like you and I agree again, because the 5 Ms. Money is a graded stakes winner. Last year at this time, she was in Baltimore winning the Grade 3 Gallarette. She has not run a good race since then. In fact, in my view, she's on the wrong side of the form cycle. That's the bad news. The good news is she moves into a barn who can do very well with turning horses around in Dave Fawkes, and she gets leading rider Gaff Leone. But for me, Vendetta is too sharp to ignore, and you agree.
Yeah, let's just check out Vendetta for giggles here. 5-year-old mare by Smart Strike, who catches a rival, again, who's got some question marks concerning her recent form, to say the least, and you can watch Vendetta do her thing, and Misael Jaramillo seems to fit her like a glove. A perfect ride, pocket the 3-wide angle, and the rest, they say, is history. Who are some of the other major players here in the night?
The thing about Vendetta that makes her so effective is that she's so tractable. She doesn't need the lead. She can fire on the lead if you want her to get there, as proven 3 starts ago. She can come from well off the speed, as proven when she broke her maiden in August, but she also can track and kick off cover like you just saw there. So she's dangerous for so many different reasons. We saw a lot of the same contenders. The 2 Kings Ghost, 2nd start in South Florida for Marty Wolfson. Her race at the fairgrounds 2 starts ago was plenty good enough. Last time out, she got thrown to the wolves and when making her South Florida debut. There are some things to like about her.
All right, Lori Storr, I thought, could get in the number today, as she has faced one stake field after another. Not an easy spot today for a horse who will be a big price and has no early speed. One I thought might be able to sneak into the try or super. Let's finish up the card here, race number 10, and we'll get you out of here at around 6:15 or so. Field of 10 in race 10, 3 and up filly and mares in this $16,000 claiming race, 7.5 furlongs on the turf. You get live in your late pick 5. You got 4 pieces here, and it's just that kind of race where we did lose the bookend runners, the 1 and 11. But man, oh man, Trip racing luck, and just showing up. I think all those come into the equation.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Tripp is probably at the top of that list because I do think there's some questionable tactical speed in this race. I think the winner of this race comes from off the pace. I just don't know who it is. I went with the 5 Legend of the Kitten because she was close enough to your top play Breakaway the last time they raced against each other, and she'll be a much better price. I'm vice president of the Carlos Montalvo fan club, so I don't mind the switch from Gaffalione to Montalvo, and I think that this horse is continuing to hold her form. She got started a little too late 2 starts ago and then was okay last time out. Publicist got it her own way, which maybe is the reason why she lost as an odds-on choice.
Now, as far as Breakaway goes, what you see is what you get. She's just 2 for 25 with 9 seconds. This kind of horse in a race like this, does that concern you, that the fact that she just fails to deliver the knockout punch?
I hated her last race. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I did not like her last race because she should have won it and won it fairly easily, let alone getting beat by Voila La Victoire. Her race 2 starts ago is a completely different story. That was a good run against the Jonathan Shepard trainee Rare Mix. There's some good things to like. There's some bad things to like. I think she'll take money. She's worth trying to beat, but you don't want to exclude her from your multi-leg exotics.
All right, that'll do it for the 10-race card. 10 up, 10 down on Gulfstream Park today. You ready to call some races here, my friend?
I think so. I'm more looking forward to the pancake wager. I got to get even. I can't let you fall 2-0 in what will be a 4 or 5 game series.
Double or nothing in today's 5th race. There'll be a tweet sent out to remind everybody that Gulfstream Park, the 5th race and beyond, certainly any race today and all weekend long, is must-watch TV. This man will be upstairs calling all the action, and in fact, you've got the second set of changes coming up shortly.
I do indeed, and I'd just like to thank you in advance for increasing my Twitter activity about tenfold. You do a lot more on Twitter than I do.
Well, we try to stay involved, man. It's the way the world works in 2017. For a dinosaur like yourself, I'll take you under my wing and show you the ropes.
All right, now we're getting jabs, but you'll have to wait for the rebuttal to that tomorrow. We'll have a great afternoon of racing. We'll see you back tomorrow on Gulfstream Today.